Long back to 2393, Starfleet had initiated a new study to find a proper overall design for the next generation multi-mission capital ship. In fact, this would be the first heavy starship to act as the backbone of Starfleet inventory since Excelsior class. Starfleet never made a real decision to determine a ship replacing Excelsiors. Partially, this is due to a lack of control in complexity in many programs. Increasingly complicated structure and systems prevented those ship classes from mass production. Such a problem could be seen on many recognized successful classic designs like Galaxy or Sovereign class. A new capital ship for large production needs simplicity. Project Redemption was initialized in 2384 as a study for coaxial warp drive, another piece of remarkable technology brought back by USS Voyager. The original idea was to build a faster ship intended for quick response and a liaison between frontier and core sectors. Though more difficult to design, coaxial warp drive is significantly resource-friendly as elements to build it are more common than quantum slipstream core. Indomitable class USS Yorktown was the first ship embarking a prototype during a series of tests in 2391. A specialized Starship was also in design to further examine this drive before mass application. Yet, the data from Yorktown was so violent and promising that Starfleet eventually decided to cancel further testbed development, turning Redemption into a project for next-era multi-role cruiser. Later in 2393, this was further defined as an attempt to succeed Excelsior class. However, ASDB was challenged by ever-changing galactic situations. There's no proper time for a single-class capital ship to come out, as it could be outdated immediately due to rapid technological advancement. So the project was postponed till 2404, during which additional studies was carried out to determine how the ship Field Command wants would be look like. After it resumed, the design was frozen in 2309, with the first two ships beginning construction in Antares shipyard. When an admiral decided that this new capital ship would become the next Excelsior, he wouldn't realize that the final design actually resembles Constitution more, another legacy in Starfleet Capital Explorer line. Democracy class combines the strength sovereign type features with simplicity like 23rd century ships. All details are purely practical, such as antimatter vaporization venting exit, a space version fuel dumping mechanism in a case usually requiring warp core ejection. Large heat dissipation waveguide and radiator are distributed on the dorsal hull of Soccer. Cooling circulator encircles the ring, which features blue spectrum is for main phase arrays. This integrated cooling and heat dissipation occurs a large volume of space, but is proved extremely useful in power output and overload redundancy. Radiator grades near impulse engines, along with 6 plasma coolant tanks, exhaust additional heat from shield and impulse drive. Starfleet engineers, as well as PhDs in ASDB, know that they couldn't predict the future. The only way is to be prepared for anything within mission spectrum. All main components are modular and removable, including organizers, power plant, sensor units, as well as technical equipment. There are also mission parts bay at the rear section of engineering hall. In addition, at the lower and upper surface of secondary hull, hard points for mission module pylons are available. Modularity features multiple positive qualities for democracies active in the next 100 years. As for the fundamental systems that shapes basic features of this starship, ASDB put together newest and most reliable technologies across Federation. Computer as well as warp core, power grid, and warp nacelles utilize studies from New Horizons project or Project Liberty Bell in some SNS platforms. Warp field is highly efficient that requires half of antimatter supply to travel same distance at warp 9.9 compared with Indomitable class. Plasma injector's lifespan is also extended. Sensors are developed from survivor class, basically a modified version of the IERS on Mount Everest subclass when first batch launched. But Democracy class has considerable upgrade capacity for her sensors either. Although not built with this class of Starship is suitable for advanced trans-subspace sensor arrays or hyperspectrum imaging system. They could be mounted on the dorsal or ventral fairing. Well, you can see this new ship has a relatively short warp nacelle, but almost the same size like Sovereign class. It's reasonable that she got a higher power density warp coil to support her high cruise speed. And it makes sense since we on Earth now are creating some new, higher efficient, more power dense engines. Despite 630 meters in length, she is actually quite a slim vessel and not bunctious in volume. This contributes to her low standard complement. However, one more important reason is her automation. Democracy is the most automated starship in fleet inventory at the time. She could operate in full capability under control of at least one person, when computer is under normal envelope. With two computer cores and redundant subprocessors distributed in the critical areas, her routine duties can be performed by nanites embarked. A standard crew complement are supported by extra comps. They are mainly engineers and scientists. Small size of crew allows for a better living environment, which means significantly during deep space missions. In case you forget or didn't pay attention when you watch the episodes, the nanites and extra comps are both from TNG. They are highly intelligent and so they are part of the crew, not just the tools. The typical configuration has 64 universal laboratories, 14 specifically designated science bases for astronomy, particles physics, biology, chemistry, planetary study, and social science. 5 specially designed centers for advanced engineering and medicine. She also has an arboretum, an aquarium, 8 holodecks, 7 cargo bays, and about 30% volume not outfitted. She also features 1 shuttle bay in soccer section, while 41 shuttles can be accommodated in 5 decks of hangar bays. The rear section of the engineering hall is designed to dock with a heavy shuttle, a runabout to be exactly, but much larger than Danube family. It could carry 100 souls at most for Earth-to-orbit transportation, while acting as advanced base on the ground. This shuttle has little defense and FTL capacity, which could reach Warp 5. She also utilizes a similar tactical system with Survivor class, yet more adaptive. Her Type 13 DM heavy phaser arrays are optimized for single burst, as a multiple release or salvo in traditional way with stable or all emitters on the same array is available. Compared with Type 13 SU, this subtype features faster recharge pace and higher heat dissipation efficiency. 8 torpedo tubes are mounted at the ventral central point, above main deflector dish on the dorsal rear surface of secondary hull, and on the rear quarter of sucker. These are relatively simple launchers, mainly optimized for universality instead of fire speed. A standard Ammunition storage includes 2050 Mark 102 quantum or transphase warheads with subwarp or warp 8 propulsion modules, up to 50 tricobalt warheads, and a certain number of antimatter self-replicable mines. As a defense-oriented vessel, her double-layers multi-adaptive shield is the best deflector shield in Alpha and Beta quadrant at the time. While the first Starfleet ship utilizing this enhanced protection was Admiral-class Starcruiser, it eventually enters mass production on Democracy. Ablative armor generators are not standardly equipped due to the minimizing threat from bulk. They are difficult in maintenance, less effective against various targets, thus phased out. As for electronic attack, she isn't fitting with multi-spectrum control system or spectrolator like many other starships in that era. Her equipment is simpler and more distributed. Resonation field is from the same technology as spectrolator, a short-range subspace bubble that surrounds the ship and performs control to all materials emitted from the ship. Yet the field generates in different approaches. Resonation field projection gray conducts resonation power through a network of waveguides conduits from warp core, where the field is generated by a sort of deliberated resonance of dilithium crystal. The field is controlled by a set of calibration coils in output unit. Resonation field is less unstable than spectrolator, but limited in jamming range and functions. And target-focused or long-range electronic attack would require resonation power emitted by deflector. It is noticeable that a few pieces of new techniques in structural and material works developed in New Horizons project are utilized. Galicite was incorporated into warp coils to make them more effective in energy transition. Rhodium fiber was used in entire framework and mine hull layers, while it was only partially utilized on Indomitable and other New Horizons vessels structure works. However, neutronium alloy, which was used to increase hull integrity on Indomitable, is not adapted here due to rarity of this material. Rhodium is rare enough for deep space operation, and as a result, many Democracy-class vessels always had some non-standard structural segments back home after years mission. If you forget this too, and I don't blame you about this, since both Galasite and Rhodium are from the original series. Well, actually, I wonder if there's anyone remember it except for the memory alpha. A parallel sub-project, the sister class of Democracy, Equality, was launched in 2012, shortly after the USS Democracy commissioned. Equality class is built by Eridani 40 Alpha Shipyard near Vulcan, but her design and project supervision are carried out by Brahms Workshop. Basically, Equality is Democracy with a different power plant. She features lengthened warp nacelle as well as one highly power-dense warp core. As a result, she may sustain higher cruise warp. Equality is described as a fast cruiser for liaison between bases and outposts. Federation has expanded her territory way too rapid in poor populated or communicated areas. Equality is considerably less constructed compared with Democracy. She is designed with large fuel tanks, more tactical reserves, and less labs. But they are, in fact, exactly the same in structure, so it is feasible to convert one into another with a couple of months. But this is a rare occasion.